What's up, everybody? This is a weird time to be live. See how long we can go here to talk about the greatest Royal Rumble that just took place. And bear with me while I just get my alerts up here in case anybody wants to donate tonight. If you guys want to donate, the link is down below in the description box for the Streamlabs donation. And all the donation amounts are listed all the way down below as well. And now I'm going to grab Jake DeMarco. He's on the phone. We're getting him. Jake, I got to tell you right off the bat, this is the weirdest thing ever, dude. I'm not joking about this. Like, this is, I'm like I'm like creeped out right now. And I'm creeped out. And the reason why, Titus O'Neil began running down the ramp. Titus O'Neil began running down the ramp. As he got about halfway down the ramp, I said out loud to Leah, I say, can you imagine if he was to slip and fall? And then I was going to say, and bash his face off the aprons. Like, you could get really hurt. Yeah. And I was saying all of that as he was halfway down the ramp. And then he fell. And Leah just goes, like that?
Slid.
Dude, like, I'm like, did I cause this guy to get hurt? What the hell? Like, of all the times I've never said that, I was like, what if someone fell and they fell right at the end and they hit the apron and hit their face and broke their head open? And right as I said that, he legitimately fell right after I said that. It's the most eeriest thing that I've ever been a part of.
You're a clairvoyant now. You're a psychic medium. We didn't even know that, you know?
I'm assuming it was the way he ran that triggered in my head, like, man, he's gonna fall and smash his face. I guess. I don't know, dude, but it was the funniest thing because then it happened.
I went back to see if there was any pancakes or anything, too, like he could have slipped on. That's what I was looking for myself.
Oh, that was really...
I didn't see any, though.
No, so. Yeah, I don't think... No, it was none of that. He was running goofy foot the whole way, I think. And I think that sort of triggered me like, oh, you know, what if somebody just fell on their way running down here? And then he just falls. It was, like, hilarious. Leah we were laughing. I'm like, I can't believe that just happened.
Danny and I were watching it, and she was like, "Oh my god!" Like I had to go back and skip back and watch it a few more times, and then they kept replaying it. I was like, "Oh, poor Titus," in one sense, but that was the greatest moment of the pay-per-view.
Dude, I was dying. I was dying. Like Michael Cole was dying. Like, take that, Stone Cold. Like there was
like Stone Cold won 3 Royal Rumbles. Take that, Stone Cold.
That was you know, I mean, Vince had to have been just roaring in the back to that. Like, I gotta believe Vince McMahon was having a heart attack in the back.
Oh, he must have been, because how many times did they replay it? 5, 6?
Well, yeah, you know, he's like, play it again. I'll play that again. Play that again.
Yeah, he must have been, like you said, roaring, just in an upheaval. Like, put it in slow-mo. Slow-mo. Slow it down.
Do it from a different angle now. Oh, we got a donation.
I would like to take this time to thank the Dovary brothers for risking their lives to wake this crowd up. I'd also like to thank Titus for keeping the crowd going, doing the Daniel Bryan Best in Show Greatest Royal Rumble match.
Thank you, PA the Baker. What's up, Baker? How you doing? Yeah, Dovary, risking their lives, their Iranian lives. Over there, that was great. I knew they were, as soon as I saw them come out. I go, oh, this is gonna be good.
You wanna see my dick?
This is gonna be good.
Right now.
Oh my God,
Seanzview Entertainment. And you wanna see my dick?
You know?
Do you want to see my dick? I will show you my penis. I'm Seanzview. Don't screw with me, or else I'll show you my pee-pee. Do you want to see my dick? Do you want to see my dick?
Epic Pyro, good commentary, and an event where it was about competitive wrestling. What happens next for Roman? I'm so lost with this guy now. Braun, amazing push for him. Thought Daniel was winning. This topped WrestleMania easily. Can we get this, Cole?
I didn't think the commentary was very good, Goon. It was funny at times because of like Titus O'Neil falling. But you know, Goon, thank you for the $13, by the way, Goon. Thank you very much for the $13, Goon. Yeah, you know, I didn't really enjoy the commentary. It wasn't that much different than normal. In fact, I was annoyed by it, especially at the end. Byron Saxton just kept being like, "Oh, oh," he was just saying all this stupid crap. Like Byron Saxton's a meatball and a meathead and a meat turd, and I don't know what else to say. He was annoying. So I don't know about that, but what I will say is maybe it was, I don't know. I don't know if it was better than Mania. I guess it was in a way. The crowd was good at some points, and then at other points it wasn't. You know, you could see that the crowd, the fans in Saudi Arabia were definitely more like current and also kind of casual fans in a way. They didn't really love Roman like some people thought they might. So that was strange. They didn't seem to like Roman very much. They sort of cheered for Lesnar more than Roman. And they loved Randy Orton. Probably because the internet and memes and things like that. Like, I know, even people that were in the crowd that didn't know, they were like, oh, I know him. So, you know, John Cena and Triple H was the loudest cheered for match. That should have been the main event. The people were just so into it. Yeah, there was fireworks. Not only did the wrestlers have pyro, but almost everybody had fireworks, which was like, well, there's the $200 million, you know, and the Prince is like, I want fireworks. Prince gets fireworks. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, they really wanted to, like you said, go above and beyond and get, make it have that special feel. And that's the thing. This doesn't play too much into the canon of other, WWE storylines or pay-per-views. Like, they'll go back to it, I'm sure. You know, they're going to reference what happened tonight. That's what I'm saying. But it's kind of a one-and-done thing in the sense of, like,
it's a house. It's a house show.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So,
but they made it a little more special.
It was entertaining. They kept our interest. To me, it was a little bit more enjoyable than Mania. I will say that much. I was thrilled with the card overall. For what I expected it to be. And then the Rumble came. And unfortunately, they didn't allow any of the stars that wrestled earlier in the night, none that I can think of anyways, to come back out. So we lacked a lot of, I want to say, star power. It felt like a tag team and jobber Rumble more than anything else, with a few people mixed in here and there. There weren't really any major surprises, I feel like. Nothing that we didn't already know about, like Rey Mysterio and Mark Henry. There were no major surprises or huge call-ups. So I was expecting a bit more with 50 people. I said, maybe, we'll see, I don't even really know what, but something more than what we got there. It just felt like they could have accomplished this with 30 men. And that's the problem, because they had so many spots to fill. They just used the undercard a lot more than we normally see.
Yeah.
No Seth Rollins, no Finn Balor, no, a lot of those because we already saw them earlier in the night. Even Jinder or the Hardys, or that would have been nice to have them back in the Rumble as well.
I don't know. It wouldn't have made a difference to me if they came back in. In fact, I usually don't like it when people come back in, but I was half expecting Roman to come out 50 almost.
I was as well. I figured we would have seen him return as well. That's what I'm saying. Just the usual top name stars, I feel like we didn't get a lot of. Roman landing on his head too with that cage spot. He came down hard.
No, Brock landed on his head.
Well, Brock had the back, but I don't know if you saw it in slow-mo. Roman really pushed full force down onto his neck.
Oh, I didn't. I saw Brock way worse than Roman in that. Brock landed on the back of his head and smashed the ground. It was. Yeah, I didn't see what happened to Roman, but
yeah, Roman. If you go back and look at it, Roman full force landed all pressure into his neck. Like he tried to brace it and he's grabbing the cage at the same time. When he came down, his head just right in, crunched down.
On the ground?
Yeah, right into where the cage was. It looked like all the impact, like his head almost kind of clicked in.
Damn, I really thought the Roman landed fine and Brock was really fucked. I mean,
Brock got hurt too, definitely, but I feel like Roman more so.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion there.
Yeah,
but I'll send
I have the opposite
quickly.
opinion, but that's funny. I'll have to watch it too because I didn't notice. I was like, oh, Roman had the luxury of like being able to put his hands out, whereas Lesnar's falling backwards on his head. I was like, what a dangerous thing, because that cage. Normally you want the cage to like break open from the top part so that big bracer holds down, and then you bounce off the cage.
Exactly, and it slows your momentum. That didn't happen. You can even see where the zip ties snapped. Like it really wasn't secured at all. So it was supposed to like, instead of just slowly
I think it did exactly.
Came down.
No, I think it did exactly what they wanted it to do. I think that's the thing, is they didn't, rather than having the top of it snap, just the cage part snapped, because they only put wire ties on it.
Yeah, they had the zip ties up top.
But that's what the problem was. They should have had the bar be able to come off, because the bar would have protected them a little better. But instead, fucking Brock just landed on his back and head.
Brock goes back, straight back, angel style, with his arms out. He's got his palms flat down, and when he braces himself, he smacks his head back into the mat.
Yeah.
And Roman, when he comes down, he has his left hand kind of gripping the cage as well, and he was like trying to land with his fists down to hold himself, but he doesn't get much of a good angle, and you can see it right on the top of his head, and his head lands first, and then his body right into it, like it almost like his head clicks and then comes back out. I sent it to you in slow-mo on Facebook.
I'm gonna go look. There was so many botches. I mean, where do you start, dude? Where's Botchamania? Matt, if you're listening, dude, good luck tomorrow or tonight or whatever you're doing, because you have so much stuff to sift through. Like that was the sound of Bobby Lashley trying to lift Big Cass up. And the funniest thing to me was that he drops him on his head almost. Like he turns it into a suplex, and then Corey goes, "Oh, like a brain buster." And he starts like snickering, laughing. That was hilarious, dude. Corey Graves just tried to make up for it and called it a brain buster. It really was.
Yeah. And who just said it in the chat? Poor Daniel Bryan. Did you see his chest and his arm?
He got chopped to hell, dude. Him and Dolph Ziggler beat the crap out of each other.
It was Brendan that said it. He said it looked like Freddy Krueger got a hold of him. It looked brutal. He was all scratched and beat up. That looked pretty bad as well. Yeah,
what a terrible... I mean, it was awesome that they chopped the crap out of each other. I think my number one pick to win the Rumble, I think just out of silliness, I went with like a local Saudi Arabian guy. I thought that would have been funny. Number 2 would have been Bryan, I think, and number 3 would have been Braun for me. So it was it ended up being Braun,
Yeah,
and,
I had 2 and 3 the same, but my number 1 was Hornswoggle, and he still didn't get eliminated. He went under the bottom rope, so.
Did he?
Yeah. Everybody was saying it's a big controversy.
Oh, Hornswoggle should have won then.
Yeah, he's still not eliminated.
He's still in the game. He's still in there. So many botches, though. It was crazy how many botches there were. Cena and Triple H was exciting just because the crowd was hyped up. They had all the pyro. Like, it was weird to see the atmosphere. But they really just kind of went over their same match that they had at WrestleMania 22 almost. With like
they kind of hit all the same points at the same time. It really was reminiscent.
You could just call out what was going to happen. And the funniest thing about that is, I was just listening to Bret Hart crap on Triple H, and boy was he right. I was like, oh, here's where Triple H is going to get thrown over the top rope. Oh, there he goes. Oh, Spinebuster's coming now. Oh, there it is. It wasn't until the very end that they did things slightly differently that I went, oh, I guess I don't know what's happening now. But it was, Bret Hart was right on with that. I don't know. But anyway, I enjoyed it even though it was very predictable and late. Cena was, God damn it, Cena was lazy in that match. He
really was. Like,
the hell?
It wasn't until the ending that I felt like he actually gave any effort. Like the way he finished the match. He was kind of like lackadaisical in some of his slams, and even when he first did the AA, like it was just like there was no oomph to it like he usually does. He kind of seemed like he just wanted to get there, get in, get out.
What's the I mean, I don't know. It was good because of the crowd, really, and because of the atmosphere of those guys. That's what I liked about it. And then after Triple H and John Cena, after those two, I mean, then things, the crowd just didn't recognize the cruiserweight. They had no interest for the most part, which was too bad because it was really a pretty good match. And man, like the springboard Spanish fly, I was like, what in the world, dude? Like that was awesome. Like there was some cool cool stuff in that. But
the conclusion to the match was pretty damn crazy too. You know, I don't know, that backbreaker that he does, Cedric Alexander.
Like the lumbar check or the other thing, or the lumbar check or the other.
The lumbar check, yeah.
Okay, I didn't
the way
know
he did it, he hit Kalisto, and Kalisto like bounced off his knee and just flew to the side when he went for and got the 3 count. That looked brutal.
Looked like Kalisto was in a friggin' car wreck. It was really pretty cool. It's Kane. He wasn't in it.
My name is Kane, and I'm donating.
It's our buddy. What's up to Jay Nasty? I salute you, Jay Nasty. What's been up, bro?
What a botched-filled Rumble match.
Was botched.
Cass almost blows out a knee, then is drop on his head. Gable got fucked up. Titus, just to name a few. Really sloppy.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to pause the donations real quick just for a second. Jay Nasty, you're right on, bro. And Jay Nasty, thank you for the 666. If you guys want to donate, the link is down below. The Streamlabs link is there. All of the donations amounts are down below as well. That's another thing. When Big Cass first came in the ring, the timing was all jacked up. Like, Braun had just knocked all the other wrestlers, just knocked them all over the place. And as Cass was getting in the ring, they all ran into Cass and tripped him. As he was running forward, he almost got, like, clipped or something. And it was like, dude, this guy's going to get injured in this shit. So 2 times Cass was almost killed by somebody. So he can't be too happy coming back from an injury.
And then Gable got thrown out of the ring incredibly hard.
Well, yeah, that was
when he got eliminated. That looked pretty brutal. And then, like Derek said,
I don't think
Owens
that's a botch.
Go back to Japan.
That's not a botch, though. That's not a botch, though. That's just he got thrown out hard.
Yeah, it just looked harder than usual. It looked pretty painful, but. And then Owens screaming, "Go back to Japan." That made me laugh.
Who?
Did you catch that? Kevin Owens, when Jericho was coming down to the ring, and Owens was freaking out and grabbing at his head, and he's like, "Go back to Japan."
I missed that part. That's funny. I wish I did hear that. I heard him say a lot of other stuff like "Leave me alone" and "Leave us alone."
Why are you here? Why are you back? Go back to Japan. He's freaking out.
That's funny. That is funny. I'm supposed to call wrestling tonight in Brockton, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. That being said, they haven't been releasing the DVDs anyway, so recently, kind of like, what am I going to call
ShiBUM?
Something for nothing?
Hey, Joe and Jake.
Diva Bible.
Enjoyable PPV. Refreshing to have a PPV for a change without having Women's Revolution being shoved down people's throats nonstop.
Ooh, somebody who doesn't like is happy the women isn't there, which is weird because it's Diva Bible, whose whole Twitter account is based on the women. So thank you, Diva Bible. What is up? Thank you.
Him and I were actually talking during the pay-per-view, special event, whatever you want to call it. And he made quite a few solid points. At first, I was laughing. I said, "I can't wait to see all the gifts you make of the women tonight from the event." And I said, "Oh, wait." And he said, "To be honest, I haven't missed the women's matches. It's refreshing, not to hear Women's Revolution every 5 minutes, in the sense that we would get probably a multi-woman match or some type of silly rumble, battle royale, rather than a good one-on-one match." And that was, a solid point. We wouldn't get Bliss versus Nia. We would get a, 20 women battle royal or something silly.
Well, one of the things I will say that this show was missing for me is it was missing Charlotte and Asuka. It was missing that great. I thought that was a good match, And again, I was disappointed with Charlotte and Asuka because I thought instead of a 7, the Charlotte and Asuka could have had an 8 or a 9 or a 10, and they didn't get. I don't think they had that at WrestleMania, but it still was a good match and still one of the better matches, if not the second best match of the night. So I imagine if Charlotte and Asuka had been able to have a rematch here tonight, and they were able to tear it up for a little while, it would have been really nice. I mean, I don't know how much the crowd. Obviously, I don't know what the crowd would do over there when and if the women are able to compete, because it seems like they're going in the direction. Triple H said, I think it was Triple H or somebody in one of the press conferences saying, "Oh, in a couple of years, we think we're going to be able to get the women here, with that 10-year deal in a couple of years."
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is what a catalyst to the women being able to wrestle on a show like this.
Well, they're getting really.
Maybe us being critical now is jumping the gun, because this will help to lead to changes.
Well, that's already what they've said. I mean, but I was still critical anyway. But
ShiBUM.
It's just
What's up,
You know,
Joe and
side
Jake?
note, but-
Wow, I'm so brain dead after this show. What a weird afternoon. I liked how Cole spoiled the Raw tag match. I guess we're getting Roman versus Brock at SummerSlam. Rumble was filled with botches, but glad Braun won anyone.
Right. Yeah, Triple Gaming, it was filled with botches. It was so weird how many botches there were. Just very bizarre. Yeah, 5.5 out of 10 for Triple Gaming. I think I'm at the same thing. I'm really wrestling between a 5 and a 6 out of 10. I might give it... I don't know, man. I almost want to give it a 6 almost, but I don't know. Come Alabama!
My name is Kane and I'm donating.
Hello, Bama!
What's up, Joe and Jake?
What's up?
I haven't watched AidZ yet. I will after work. But at least I saw the Deleters of World become tag champs. I hope it's worth watching, though.
Delete! Khalil Bama, thank you very much for the 666, man. Yeah, I think it's worth a watch. I think it is worth a watch. It's not the best. You know, Jeremy Johns does movie reviews. I've watched him for years. Ever since fucking for years ago when he had like 50,000 subs. And at the end, you know, he always tells you whether you can buy it on Blu-ray or if you need to drink in the movie theater. And I would say that this is an event that if you could sit down and turn the volume up real loud and get a little wasted, you might enjoy this show a lot, actually. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, grab a couple friends, a few brews, and this could be a good time.
Yeah, it could be all right. Could be a good time, maybe. And so I would say...
alcohol required.
Yeah, that's what he says. Alcohol required. Jeremy's a good
Now
dude.
it's a party. Yeah.
I got to do something with him a while back when I was talking with the guy who did the voice for my show, the guy who did the intros, and then he does the honest trailers. And they were on a call with Jeremy, and so I got to speak with him for like a half a second. And he was cool.
Oh, that's cool.
He was a cool dude. And then I don't know what they do over there now. Ever since that guy was trying to touch the women interns or whatever, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, from Screen Junkies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was...
That whole channel sucks now over there. When I'm over there, I'm like, I can't stand it. It's like they went full SJW and weird. I don't know.
Yeah, all the honest trailers changed quite a bit, and the way they did things, it was like, But Jeremy, I'm a big fan of his, and you should see the hate he's getting right now because he posted a spoiler-free review of Avengers: Infinity War. Yeah, and his final rating for it was, you know, the buy on Blu-ray when it comes out rating, which is like the second best. The best rating is Awesome-tacular, and fans are literally ripping him apart without even seeing the movie yet. 90% of them haven't seen the movie at the point that the review came out on Tuesday or Wednesday, destroying him because he didn't give it an Awesome-tacular. I'm like, you can't have an opinion anymore.
Well,
you know?
he gave it a buy it on Blu-ray. I mean, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's like an 8 out of 10.
That's what these Avenger movies always are to me. Like, they're always like, yeah, pretty good. I buy that on Blu-ray. It's a good movie. You know, but it's never like, dude, it's not going to be Forrest Gump, you know? Sorry. Listen, I'll be right back, Jake. I got to go check something real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the botches we forgot to address was Jeff Hardy and Jinder with the Whisper in the Wind going off the top rope. That was certainly a sloppy call. I think I would give it like a 70-30 in terms of blame, 30% on Jeff, because he still landed it in the right spot, but I don't think he gave Jinder enough awareness to you know, what was coming maybe. Or, you know, because it looked a little bit odd beforehand with the setup. I can't quite go back. I was trying to pull it back up myself now, but they went ahead and, you know, they get the twist of fate, you know, you go for it, and it just didn't quite work. And the funny part was Jinder just bumps anyways. So rather than act like, oh, he missed and start hitting him or something, he just falls down. And that made it so much worse. I would have rather seen Jinder like, oh, he missed and just start hitting him in the back or even set up for a different, you know, set up for it again or a different move. But don't act like, you know, you got hit by the wind. I mean, it is the whisper in the wind, but don't act like, you know, a big gust knocked you over. That was a bit ridiculous. Also, you know, as I want to give credit to Arthur on Twitter. You know, the Taker botch is what scared him the most, he said. Yeah, Aiden English, when he got that tombstone pile driver, he's just a little too tall, or Undertaker had to grab him just a little bit higher up. He had him by the waist, should have came more in his abdomen, because when he dropped down, Taker, I don't know, didn't give enough give or went down too far and looked like he compacted his neck just a little bit. So that was certainly a scary moment as well. A lot of botches tonight, but I enjoyed the show. I'll ask Joe to clarify when he gets back, and I'll see what the chat says. But as I was speaking to people, it seemed like, and I don't mean this, disrespectfully at all, but with the crowd, are they only allowed to cheer at certain times, or were they just mic'd poorly? That's kind of how it seemed. They would only react to something, good or bad, boo, cheer, indifferent, when either wrestlers and stars were coming out or when the match bell rang, for the match to end. There was a clear victory, that had happened. Once a winner was decided, then they'd cheer again. But throughout the match, I don't feel like they'd cheer out more, or they'd go ahead and chant the things. Even the Rusev Day chant, I didn't really hear from them. It could be the way the arena is, because you heard the echoes from the ring mat clearly. We picked up on it here many times, especially with it being so quiet, and it could just be, an outdoor arena. There's a lot of, acoustic problems. Things echo loudly and reverb back in. But besides the crowd being a bit dead, it was also, is there a confusion? They're not used to how the things go, but it seemed like at other times they knew what to chant, they knew what to say. They were up currently on the product, so that's why I was surprised. They all yelled "Walk with Elias" loudly, but no one chanted with the Rusev Day thing. So it was a bit weird. It was a bit unconventional. I'll say that. Yeah, Pro Wrestling Limited says it seems like a Japan crowd. I would give it that much. They only cheered or jeered at the start and the end when people came out. I don't know how you feel about that, Joe. I said maybe it's just the culture, but they were quiet when the match was actually taking place, and they didn't really react to much, except for Cena and Triple H. I'll give you that much. But besides that, when somebody came out and when the match ended was, I think, the only time they really, were vocal.
Yeah, they were sort of into the characters, you know what I mean? They were into the big superstars and the characters. They liked when the pyro went off. They cheered for the fireworks, the music and stuff like that. They reacted a little bit to the Hardy match. They were real quiet for the cruiserweight match. What else were they?
They were quiet for Jeff and Jinder. They did boo Jinder heavily.
Oh my God! There's the other botch, that whisper in the wind that missed.
Yeah,
completely.
I was talking about that while you were gone. I said it was like a 70-30. Jinder has more of the fault, but Jeff also, like, the way the setup was a bit odd. But Jinder got knocked over after the fact, as if the wind actually took him down. Like,
yeah,
a huge gust blew by.
It was. I
the
said
whisper personally,
in the wind.
I wouldn't have sold that. I would have made it. I would have started just attacking Jeff again, or even set up for the move again. He just, it was so evidently obvious that he missed.
When I'm in the ring, when I was in the ring, the biggest thing I'd be concerned with is being embarrassed, or like letting the other guy be embarrassed. If I see Jeff miss completely with that, you know what I mean? The number one, two things have to happen in my opinion. Number one, Jinder has to start attacking Jeff Hardy right away. And then, you know what I mean, Jeff, if they absolutely have to do the spot, you should be able to know if you have to do it or not. If you don't have to do the spot, then you just move on to what you're going to do. If you have to have the spot, if you have to be knocked down, then you get knocked down right there. If you have to have the spot, then you can redo it, but that kind of looks dumb, but you can do it. Now, the commentary somebody should come on and say, like, wow, Jeff Hardy completely, he missed there. He scouted that wrong. He thought Jinder was behind him. He went for the whisper win. He came up empty. And then Michael Cole could say something, well, that's throughout Jeff Hardy's career, that's what he's been known for, taking a risk. And sometimes you throw caution to the wind. And this time it came back to burn him. And,
they could even compliment Jinder by saying, look at the great ring awareness of Jinder stepping out of the way. And, because but instead, they make a mockery of it at times when they shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's all they need to do. Just cover it up on the announcing, and then if the wrestlers themselves cover it up by being real, by Jinder going right down. All right, he fell down. Well, I'm going to drop down now and start punching him in the head. He made a mistake, and then hopefully the announcers say, "Wow, Jeff Hardy missed him there," And now Jinder's going to have a lot of control here. This is dangerous for Jeff Hardy. And then you just go on, and the believability becomes great, and you end up turning that weird, awkward moment into something great. But now, instead, you've turned it into a GIF meme that we're going to see constantly now. I mean, you know what? It's like there was so many botches. Everybody else who botched right now should line up and suck Titus O'Neil's balls. Because Titus O'Neil took the heat off of everybody else's botch by diving under the friggin' ring, by falling under the ring. Because otherwise, we could have talked about all these other botches, and we are still, but dude, that thing is going to take the cake. That is going to make the rounds like you wouldn't believe. I mean, there was so many I mean, dude, I can't remember a show where there was this many botches. If there had been
English, getting improperly tombstoned by Undertaker, I said he's just a bit too tall. And Taker should have had him, more by the abdomen, less by the waist. Or Taker should have, held his back up more. He really went down and, popped down. And
it wasn't, and that wasn't,
compacted his neck.
That wasn't a full botch, but it was scary. It was dangerous. It
was frightening.
Luckily, I think he bounced the right way with the mat, but that could have been more dangerous for sure. It could have been much more dangerous. Let me play a couple of these donations here. See what we're at here.
10.
Here he was, but he wasn't 10 today.
He was there. Can you mute me in the process? We'll see if that works.
I've done that. Yeah, it hasn't worked. He is the perfect 10.
First off, 6 hours is way too long for any fucking show. AJ Nakamura was great, as was the ladder match. Taker Rusev was fun, as was the Rumble, even if there were some wasted entries. But the rest was so much meh.
Yeah, I agree. Chiz Ignis, thank you very much. 6 hours was too long for this. That would be one of my criticisms of this too. It was a little too long for what it was. I enjoyed it, but it was
shit bomb.
Got my whole morning. Chiz Ignis.
Attention. We have a Titus spilling. Clean up under the ring. Please fire Cole. He doesn't know who's alive or dead. Rip Rusev Day. 2/10.
Oh my God. Man of 1,005 holes. What's up, man? How you been today? Thank you for becoming a $5 shit bum. Appreciate that. And yeah, I am gonna go watch that so many times. He's lucky there wasn't a cross beam or something under there. And I just can't get over the fact that I said what if somebody trips and smashes their head? What if Titus were to trip and then 2 seconds later the guy fucking trips?
Cena don't give a rat's ass LMAO. He doesn't want anything to do with WWE anymore. Which is a great thing. The less I see him, the better. At work right now. Keep the good work up, guys.
Hey, thank you, Sasha's Mouthblood, who had some, dude, Sasha's Mouthblood had some pretty good tweets today during this event. I'm going to pass out soon and then wake up for Monetize This. But I wouldn't be surprised if people were getting tired there, because it was just they'd been there for a long time, and after you see a couple matches, the mystique wears off if you're not a big wrestling fan,
I got home in time for the Rumble. I am going to watch the rest later. I can't wait for the next Botchamania. WTF was that, Jinder? You will be remembered for that forever, Titus.
They are going to Matthew from Botchamania is going to be so busy. I literally texted Matthew from Botchamania during the show. 4 out of
10 thought it was boring, but I did enjoy Jinder botching and Brock winning and Roman spearing Brock through that cage. Imagine Morrow calling that spot.
Yeah, imagine the WWE announce team being a good announce team. Broken Lion, thank you for the $5. Becoming a $5 shit bum. That'd be great if they had a good announce team. But yeah, that'd be crazy. It was too long, man. It really was. And I texted Matthew from Botchamania, and I was like, I go, dude, you're welcome. You just received a gift today from the WWE.
Shit bomb.
Sup, guys? This was funny as fuck with all the botches. When Titus fell, I got weak and couldn't stop laughing because Corey Graves couldn't stop, and it was contagious. That belt looks ugly as fuck, and this show was pointless, but the pyro was cool.
Yeah, Lots of Pyro, Waymore. Waymore, what's been up, dude? Thank you for the $5, Waymore. Yeah, the Pyro and the forget the Pyro. There was fireworks all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Corey Graves, it reminded me of Jimmy Fallon on SNL when he used to laugh all the time in that moment. As soon as he went ahead and he hit the ground, I was like, oh my God, I hope he's okay. And then he came back out and I just died. Once I knew he was getting back in the ring, I'm still just I can't get over that moment.
Flicks in the chat just wrote Titus World slide. Somebody else Titus World die, like somebody wrote on Twitter.
Yeah, it's trending. Titus has 22,000 tweets as of 2 minutes ago. So
that's so funny. This is, oh my God, is this the GTA Wasted?
Yeah. That was one of them that I've seen.
Oh wait, no, this is not that. This is something different. Look at this.
Oh, you're talking about the one that Peters had? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Dude, you know how weird it is that I was literally imagining in my mind somebody falling and smashing their head off the top of the apron, and then legitimately 3 seconds later it happens. And the good thing is I said it out loud, because Leah was like, what the fuck? Like, you just said that and then it happens? Like, it was the weirdest thing. By the way, the reason why I got up a minute to leave to check something is because a couple days ago there was like a drone outside. I guess. I didn't know this. I came home to the cops outside, and like the neighbor was like, there was a drone and it was following me. And then I got in my car, and like the drone flew up into the window and was like almost looking at her. Then she tried to drive into her driveway. Then it hovered around and got in front of her car and looked at her with its camera or whatever. And she called the cops. So
that's weird.
I was like, that's weird. Well, Leah told me that she heard it, and it like flew by near our window. And I went outside to go look at it. I go, dude, if I catch that thing, I'm going to smash it. Because the cop was like, there's really nothing we can do, unless, we have the drone to read the tags on it and stuff. Or whatever. And I was like, because she was like, it's a real professional, crazy looking, one. Or whatever. And it's going around looking in people's windows and shit. And I was like, dude, if I catch that thing, I'm going to smash it out of the sky. You know?
Just don't grab it. Cut your hand off.
No, I won't grab it. I'll get a bat for it.
Yeah, there you go. Swing for the fences. Swing for the fences.
Fuck that. Forget that. Like, if I find that thing, it's getting broken. Because it's like, what is it doing?
You'll delete it.
I'll delete it. Yeah, I'll send it to Matt Hardy too.
Here's Vanguard 1 in pieces.
Oof.
Yeah, that's weird. That's really unsettling.
You know what else is unsettling?
What's that?
This photo.
Right? Is that the one Arthur sent? Because that, was just... Oof, look at his neck there.
Yeah, Arthur Reyes. What's up, Arthur? That is luckily actually, I don't think his neck really compressed a lot, so that's the thing that's lucky. His head bounced, his head were almost even with Taker's knees. Luckily. It could have been way worse. I think he was okay, but it was from what I can tell, it was as close as you could get before you get a stinger, or before something breaks, or before you hurt something, or before you're paralyzed. There's like a lot of little centimeter steps involved in all those things that I just said. I saw a guy give a tombstone at Top Rope at Summer Showdown 3 years ago, and the guy slipped out of his hands as he was doing it. And that was scary. And the guy did say his neck was really sore, and like he was sore for weeks. But live, it was like, ooh my God, like, I really put it over on commentary because it was so bad. I was like, that was one of the most devastating tombstones I've ever seen. It was brutal, and that's got to be it for Ryan. He's out. Somebody should get in there and check on him, and the friggin' guy came back at the end of the match and still finished off the match, and it was like, but I didn't know if he would, because I was like, that guy is hurt, and he was hurt, but it wasn't, But it looked like, wow, that guy's paralyzed. You know, that guy, or he could be paralyzed from that.
Yeah,
or
certainly.
So that was lucky that he wasn't. But
and you've seen people take less and be more, severely injured, and you've seen people take more and be okay. So you never know which way it's going to land either.
My question is, what happens with the eliminations in this tonight? Like, does this count towards all of Royal Rumble history?
I believe so. That's what they were saying, because that would make Daniel Bryan have the longest, right?
Yeah, and they said that too. That he said
because they said it, but I'm not sure. It's odd. I don't know if this is quantified in every Rumble ever, or if this is just its own thing.
Is it all Royal Rumble canon or no? It shouldn't be. I can't believe they're going that way if they are.
I mean, they've had 40-man Rumbles before, but never 50, obviously. Yeah. And it certainly wasn't 90 seconds in between, which we know. Sometimes it wasn't even a full 60 seconds, but it was still one of the longer ones. Not the longest, but it was long.
By the way, I do want to remind everybody that we'll be live tonight again at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. time, because we'll be going live from Monetize This, as you know. If you're new to the channel, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you sub all my channels. Of course, my real channel where I talk about wrestling is Joe Cronin Show, youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. Make sure you guys subscribe over there for all my wrestling podcasts and all my other stuff there. Subscribe here for my live reactions. Right now, this is where I've been going live mostly from, because I'm not able to go live on Joe Cronin Show. And but this is my gaming channel usually. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to Corrupted Podcasts YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel where we talk about news, entertainment, and just crazy shit over there. So it's youtube.com/Corrupted Podcast. Those 3 channels. But we will be live tonight. Monetize This will happen tonight from this channel as always, at least until July. And I forget what episode of Monetize This we're on, 100-something or other, 150-something or other. And we're getting there, man. And tonight, there's no belt on the line tonight, so we are indeed coming up with an interesting game of Jeopardy, perhaps, that we will be playing. If Justin Bailey has finished the work. He's doing most of it. I got some more of it to do. But if not, we'll be coming up with something special for tonight. I'm not even telling you what it is yet, because honestly, I don't know, but it's going to be something weird, and it's going to be it should be interesting.
Can't wait for that. Did you also happen to catch, Dizzy brought it up in the chat, good thing because I forgot about it, Michael Cole, he said the late, great Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
Indicating that, Sergeant Slaughter passed away.
I'm not
and
dead,
for anybody
Megan.
that's curious, he's still alive,
Michael Cole sucks.
They started, I know it's a long time to be on commentary, but when we first started off, we're on the pre-show, the kickoff show. I tuned into the kickoff show, and there was about 10 or 12 minutes left, I think, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I saw, good old JR and Jerry the King Lawler, and I was like, oh, fuck yes, they brought them over. They're going to be on, hopefully we can get them on. Why didn't they use them at all? They only had them for the superstar panel with Booker T. You fly out JR and the King, and you don't use them?
Yeah, they look like zombies too.
I know,
you see
they look
them?
Just jet lagged and beyond miserable.
They don't want to be flying out there.
Use them at all?
Why did they fly out there, dude? King, they were like,
all
King,
that way.
They were like, King, who's your pick in this and that thing or whatever? And then King was just like, I don't know, flip a coin and either one could win or whatever. And it was like, why? And then JR just out of nowhere would say something like, well, between these two men, this could happen or whatever. And then Byron Saxton came back on all awkward. And it was just, why did these guys go out there? Like, stay home. And not because you suck, really, but just because, what are they going to add? I mean, were they getting paid so much money they had to go there? And, I mean, JR looked like he was dead, and Jerry Lawler was out of his mind, and Booker T was probably one of the better guys. Booker T might have been the best guy on the panel.
He really was. He was the only one that was effervescent and lively and had some friggin' energy. Everybody else, like you said, they were just zombies. They were dead. But why not have them even there via satellite? Why fly them all the way to Saudi Arabia to have them be on a simple panel and not utilize them?
Yeah, why not just have
mind-boggling.
Just have them in Connecticut or something, and Byron Saxton even could be, or wherever they are. Byron Saxton could have been like, and now we go via satellite to JR and Jerry the King Lawler, who are going to give some insight here. I mean, what's the difference?
They wasted them. Yes, that's right, Jacob. They wasted them on frickin' Raw 25 as well, I feel. They had them in the the hall there, and instead of the actual center, that was a waste as well. Just mind-boggling. I can't wrap my head around that decision. And then on top of it, the commentary started to break down more and more. They really started to bicker and argue with each other. Like Fandango's coming out, and they're like, "Well, how did you know it was him? It could have been, Tyler Breeze." And he's like, "I know his music, you idiot!" Like they start, and it wasn't even like they were kidding. Like they were snickering and being, childish. They were acting
bored.
like children.
They were bored, dude. That's what
it comes down to. I mean, you're
Seriously.
at like hour 6 for them talking straight continually. And even at Mania, they kind of, broke up a little bit. With this, it was just, they had to talk for so many hours straight through.
They had the prayer. I mean, they had the breakup prayer thing.
Yeah, but you figure you're still talking for, 3 hours than 4 hours or whatever, it works out to be 3 and 3, 2 and 3. It was still a long time. And they just got tired and started to get on each other's nerves and bicker at each other. And it showed. And it became... the whole commentary team broke down. I was like, how do I switch to the Saudi commentary?
Yeah, I was wondering.
At least those guys look like they were having fun.
I was wondering about the Saudi commentary. I was like, I'll just throw them on. I'll listen to that. I don't even care. Maybe they're more excited than this thing. Let me play another one. You hear these donations? Let me know.
Yes, finally. I want to talk about the crowd too.
My name is Kane and I'm donating. Savage rock and roll.
Savage rock and roll at it again. Joe, please make the Titus entry a donation. I can't stop watching it.
I know, man. That might have to happen. Savage rock and roll. I am losing it, dude. I'm going to make... I don't know whether it's a song or a music thing to that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but that is just too wild, man. Savage rock and roll. Thank you for the 666. We'll take phone calls in a couple minutes, too, by the way. 339-226-6610. Make sure you guys subscribe down below. And, of course, we're going live from this is my other channel because we can't go live on Joe Cronin Show for a little while. So make sure you guys go over there. And look at this. Joseph Hardaway subscribing to the channel. Thank you, Joseph. Pour me a beer, man. Drink a beer.
They had all the elite and the royalties very close to the ring, ringside.
Yeah.
And then they did not use up any rest of the floor seating. Everybody else was like very... anybody that had to purchase tickets was far away.
If you saw tweets from me, it wasn't me.
Oh.
My account got banned a while back. I don't have a Twitter anymore.
Oh, maybe it was Sasha's sweet ass who was tweeting and not Sasha's mouth blood. Maybe that's what it was. Thank you, Sasha's mouth blood, and I'm sorry about that. Who hasn't been banned, though, by the dumb Twitter?
Yeah,
what
really.
A garbage website. Thank you, Sasha. But no, yeah, they didn't want to be among the common folk, you know what I mean? They smell.
Apparently not. The reason I'm laughing is because Wahoo LeBron just sent us a snippet from Wikipedia. It says Titus O'Neil, former American football player. He is signed to WWE.
What's up, Jake and Joe? This donation make me the first person to donate while flying 30,000 feet above Montana.
Wow.
At least I think. Either way, have a good show and see you tonight, jet lagged and all.
Wow.
Cheers to you all, and of course the champ, Mr. Bobbitt.
The champ could be in the house tonight. Farm out Bobby. He don't have the belt yet, but the champ is going to be in the house probably. Thank you, Drew. Flying over Montana. Well, my buddy actually, my buddy flies to, our buddy Flip Gordon flies to Montana once in a while, but he's never donated while in the air, so yeah, no one's ever donated over Montana. I've gotten a phone call from over Montana from Flip Gordon, but never got donated from him.
What about your buddy Mike tonight? Friend of the show. Oh my God, how brutal was that?
I knew he was getting eliminated quickly because he gave it away because he was he was playing it up on the ramp, and then Henry was staring at him, and I go, oh my God, they're gonna try to break a record with Mike Kanellis. Oh my God. And then he got in there, and I go, oh yeah, they're setting up for it. And I don't think they quite got it because he like hung on the rope for a second too long. But I don't know. It was pretty close. Remember when Titus was supposed to break that record and then he couldn't get out of the ring?
Yeah, they couldn't get him over the rope.
So they couldn't get him over the rope then, but they got him under the ring tonight, I'll tell you.
They absolutely did. I'm still cracking up about his Wikipedia page. It says where he tripped and was consumed by the ring. I in the Skype chat, I sent you Daniel Bryan a picture of his chest. It's from the WWE Instagrams. If you could put that up.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, that is harsh. Who sent us that? That was Jacob Winkleman. Thank you.
I think it was
that
him and
looks
Dolph.
Brutal.
Him and Dolph just tagging the hell out of each other.
That was brutal. Are you upset that Daniel lost? I'm disappointed, but I'm glad that
I want him to win the real Rumble.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing. This was a consolation prize. As much as I want to see Daniel win, this is just a makeshift nothing. It doesn't matter. Somebody said before, oh, they heard something about them getting a title shot, and no, it's just the trophy. The belt was even added after the fact, but
yeah, the
belt
belt's
looked
just
nice.
The belt looks great.
I like that belt a lot. If they have to defend that belt yearly, if this is an annual thing, maybe that would be kind of a cool premise, but
yeah, no, I think it's just a commemorative, like, here you go.
I think it's just a one-done thing as well, but I don't know. It's just it was definitely a jobber rumble. So I mean, there was too many tag teams. I really do wish they had Finn, Seth Rollins, people in that nature come back out. It lacked excitement to me. I don't feel like there was really any surprises. I wish we didn't know that Ray was going to come back, and seeing Great Khali and that sumo wrestler. I forget his name.
I wish we didn't know Jericho was coming back.
Yeah, I wish that was.
You know
a
what
surprise.
that tells? You know what that might tell us? They might have had somebody else booked or wanted somebody else to be showing up, and then they couldn't get them because that's when
possible too.
Then they went from Rusev Undertaker to Jericho, but it ended up being Jericho. But it would have been way better if it had been like, we didn't know at all that Jericho was going to be there, and he showed up 50. It would have been a little better then. They love.
I was even half expecting like Adam Cole and maybe not Aleister Black because he's champion, but they've had Almas. He was in the Royal Rumble and he was still NXT champion back in January. So it's not like it's not possible, but that would have been great to see both of them. I was expecting a bit more. I really was. In terms of surprises and different entrants.
People are even like, Shawn Michaels is going to come. It's like, dude, he wouldn't even come back for like AJ at WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels isn't coming out.
They did ask him, though. They did offer him, I should say.
Yeah.
He did confirm that. But I've heard something odd. I don't know if you've heard the news as well, but I heard that they paid the women a substantial amount for the show, even though they weren't there, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that the women, Vince McMahon gave the women paychecks for today's show. That's not fair. If so, good on them. I think.
That's bullshit. They didn't do anything. What the hell?
But they didn't do anything because they couldn't, If they just didn't show up because,
Yeah, but all those guys had to travel over there and suck on that crappy flight and be over there and compete and all this crap over there, and they didn't get.
I see your point. I do, but they didn't even have the chance or opportunity to say no.
I'm just kidding. But no, I do think it's stupid. But I get it. No, I think they gave the women money because they had so much money. Like they made so much money, like normal amounts of money that they take in on some of these pay-per-views and stuff from the show itself. It's like it's not even close to getting the $200 million or whatever they got from this. So they can afford to just be like, give the women a bonus, make everybody feel good. And the women were competing somewhere else, so you could say that. Well, I believe they're competing overseas somewhere.
I think they're in Paris.
Right. So yeah. So you could say like, they're probably not getting paid as much as the men either. So as long as everybody gets paid around the same, right at this point, I like that. Certainly.
I heard the number was in the ballpark of $50,000, Joe. So
Jesus, just for this?
Just for tonight.
That's because dude, $200 million. That's what it is. That's amazing.
Yeah. Which is fantastic. You figure some of the women only make $100,000 to $200,000 a year, so $50,000 for not showing up. Whew.
Right.
Again, this isn't confirmed, so I want to specify that 110%.
Let's all tweet.
This is only what I've heard. But.
Well, let's all tweet Sasha and find out.
Yeah, she'll just somebody go to the airport and ask her.
Let's all get blocked. Everybody tweet Sasha and ask her if she got paid $50,000.
I'm trying to find the name of the sumo wrestler that came out. I don't remember that, unfortunately, but I do want to comment, oddly enough, Victor and Connor both looked really good. I think Victor more so early on in the Rumble. I wish they would do more with the Ascension. I really do, but at this point, they're so far, buried and removed from relevance that It's unfortunate.
Yeah, they're done. I don't know. I don't even care. It's so far gone. I hate the main roster at this point. Like for the most part, I don't like it.
Roderick Strong was a good surprise that I was happy to see.
He looked phenomenal at one point. He went on a run in that Rumble, kind of like The Miz went on it in the IC belt match.
Yeah,
the ladder match.
That's for sure. Trek says they offered Stone Cold money to be in the match. I heard that as well. I did legitimately hear that before, but I know they absolutely offered Shawn Michaels, so I can picture them offering Stone Cold.
Yeah, I bet you they offered everybody because they could throw the money at somebody.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, think about it, and you know, money usually walks, but
I mean, dude, they could have afforded easily to be like, "Hey, Stone Cold, you want to come show up at this thing? We'll give you $500,000." Like, that's I don't know what they offered him. Maybe they only offered him $100,000, but dude, I mean, I honestly would have thought if they offered Stone Cold or Shawn Michaels $1 million. Because if you make $200 million, I'd be like, dude, I'll drop $1 million if we can get Michaels or Stone Cold back.
Yeah. Could you imagine how we would have reacted if we didn't know it and the glass shattered?
Oh my God, dude! And Stone Cold won, dude. I'd be rolling like.
Look at the smile on your face. I have the same thing. Right now. You get those little goosebumps just thinking about it. That's the kind of thing I was looking for. A little bit of more nostalgia.
I couldn't even imagine him holding up that belt and then the trophies there, and Steve Austin's going to all the corners with the belt. Oh my God! Would the crowd really? I wonder how the crowd would react to him though.
Saudi Arabia, give me a hell yeah! You know,
if you want Steve Austin to fuck. Oh, I almost said something bad. My kids just walked in the room, so
retro
almost did something bad.
Dad mode enabled. And S-Dot makes a great point too. You know, there was a good portion of the crowd that was standing, just conversing back and forth with each other.
What was that with the guys?
They weren't even paying attention. Looked like they were having a business meeting. One guy, I wanted to see him do something. He did not move once. I told Danny, I'm like, him. That's my guy. She's like, what are you talking about? He was next to the guy sitting with his hands perched like this in the back. He didn't move. He didn't blink. He didn't cough. He didn't sneeze. He just stared forward. It was unbelievable.
His bomb didn't go off.
5 hours. He was just.
His bomb didn't go off. The whole time he was thinking there like, I spent all day rigging this thing. He's looking down. He's like, the clock is at 0 and he's still waiting.
The most culturally insensitive thing I heard was, look at the ghosts in the audience. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, to be in all honesty, to me, it actually just made me feel good. I saw the families there. I saw the kids there. Like, they loved it. The kids were so into it, and I really liked that. I liked seeing that, like, you know, these like Saudi Arabia knows WWE. They were chanting certain things. They reacted all that. They spoke English, like they understood English when people were speaking. Lots of the kids are doing the John Cena stuff and saying things. Like, it was like a decent amount of them did the delete, which was pretty impressive since that really comes from a pseudo, you know, barely watched show from Impact. You know,
yeah, other company entirely.
And it's only been done on WWE main TV a little bit. So that was pretty impressive to me. I actually thought the crowd was fairly impressive. Like 20% of the time, the crowd was really good. And then some of the other time, it was cool to see how they really were enjoying it. You know what I mean? But then there were those, you know, dull moments where people were really quiet at times. But for the most part, it seemed really cool. And you could see looking out in the crowd that many people were into many things. But there was just, you know, they weren't. I was surprised that they weren't into Roman at almost that much at all, really. They
booed him, and people were like, "Oh, listen, I hear cheers for Roman." No, they're cheering the Pyro.
Yeah,
they didn't cheer for Roman until the Pyro went off. Then they cheered. It's like, ooh, you know, sparkle, fancy.
Yeah, they loved the fireworks.
Roman.
They loved fireworks. It was almost like they told the people, like, come to a fireworks show. And
sadly, think about it. Any explosion they have probably seen, you know, they lose a family member. So this
my God!
A huge spectacle.
Oh, my God! Oh, my God!
I had to get one out there. I had to trump your bomb joke.
Oh, my God! Oh, no!
Thank you, folks. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. But...
You're gonna find me dead!
Oh my God.
Oh, but at least the kids had a good time. Am I right? I noticed Alan got timed out in the chat for saying that. Yeah, that's the truth. Once Cena came out with the line of children, you knew he had it won. So I was wrong about that, picking Triple H. You got me there with those predictions. You're still dead.
I can't believe you said that. Oh, and everybody knows it's airplanes with them. Okay, let's move on. I just killed you now. Oh.
My name is Jeff.
My wife has real tits. You fucking fag.
What were you gonna say now?
I said I shouldn't have picked Triple H. Once Cena came out with all the kids, that was it. We knew he was winning.
I told you.
That sealed the deal. Yeah, you were right. You know, he had all the children, lined up doing the "You Can't See Me" thing, and
except there's an asterisk there. Apparently, Mr. Liar.
Hey, it works. Can't agree all the time. Apparently, it doesn't matter anyways. But
yeah, we are. We're gonna be playing. We'll get back to the gaming again too. We're gonna be playing probably PUBG and Fortnite again. Yeah, as always. But PUBG for sure. And we'll get going on there. But I'm sorry. What else? I'm sorry. Where were you again, Jake? What?
No. Also, anybody that didn't hear Thursday Night Throwdown last night, that was an excellent episode. Make sure you check that out.
Was it good? I didn't even know what I was doing.
It was good. I enjoyed it listening to it this morning. And unfortunately, by the time I had gotten to the start of it, I just passed out last night. Phone in hand and everything. I think the week kind of caught up with me then, but...
Yeah, it's a tough week. Brenna, what are you doing? You playing a game over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to go back through, the rest of the Rumble, and somebody said that Francesca was the only female on the show. That was a good, good little quip. Ziggler, I give him credit. He really did sell well, and he was entertaining. These are the moments that you're like, all right, it was worth them keeping him around. Angle kind of botched a few times. He even botched with Daniel Bryan a bit when they were going for the yes kicks and leading into the ankle lock. He kind of rolled out of it weird at the end, but still looked impressive, especially for not wrestling on a regular basis. Mysterio went for the 619 the first time, got interrupted, obviously. And then when he went for it again, when he finally was able to deliver it, it was sloppy. That, again, was another, kind of a botch. He barely got any momentum going for the kick. And what about Braun Strowman putting Shane McMahon through the table? I forget about that. That was a cool moment. Poor Shane. Cool. Every time he comes out, he's got to go through something.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, what is going on? And why don't any of the other wrestlers step up with stuff like that and be like, I'm going to do this? Why is it always Shane diving through tables?
It's part of his father's, dealing. You can come back to the company, but every time you're in a match, we're putting you through something, on or off.
I thought but honestly, going back to the crowd. I mean, I thought it was cool, man. I thought the audience, I loved it. I don't know why some people were pretty harsh on the audience, but I thought it was cool, man. I saw the families again, like I said. I saw the kids were happy. Everybody was kind of having a good time. I really thought it was cool that everybody... It actually just makes you realize how, everybody has all these preconceived notions and was giving, Saudi Arabia a hard time all these last weeks and stuff. But, and I know that it's a little bit of propaganda, but, I mean, they are, looking to do different things going forward. But the really important thing is that we're all, everybody's human, and they're just all really cool. They were really cool people. The crowd seemed like an awesome crowd. I could be in that crowd and hang out and have a good time. I feel like with all those people, and I thought it was a good crowd for what we got. So it was really cool. And the Saudi prince is spending the money, man. So yeah, I mean, I really did enjoy it. I thought they were pretty good. I thought they, at times, like you said, they reverted almost into a New Japan crowd. But then there were times where they seemed very excited, and they were actually louder, it seemed, than, many of the times at WrestleMania. Like, it was a fairly loud crowd. But it would depend,
Yeah, they did get quiet at some points. But I mean, a lot of it too is you know, I was questioning it before, and after reading the chat and some on Twitter, there is a, you know, language barrier there. Not everybody does speak English. How did you feel about Big Cass eliminating Daniel Bryan? I personally enjoyed it. At least they're keeping the foresight of having that storyline progress further. You know, originally when he returned, he kicked Daniel in the head, messing up his match on SmackDown. Then last week he cut a really good promo on this week, excuse me, feels like forever ago at this point. This week on SmackDown, he cut an excellent promo on Daniel. So do you agree it was the right move if Braun was going to win?
Yeah, I think they did a good job keeping that story going. Plus, yeah, I liked it. It made Cass vicious. He's already trying to pick up heat before the whole Miz thing happens. So, yeah, I think they did a great job with that. They made Bryan look really strong. You know, he was in there a long, long time. That is how I wish Bryan had lost the previous Rumble instead of being bumped out by Bray Wyatt randomly, it seemed.
Yeah.
But whatever, you know, that's going back quite a while.
His time was 76 minutes. 76 minutes and 5 seconds. Yeah. So, hot damn. I don't know if that is certainly the longest, but it's up there. I'm trying to verify.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be more. I don't remember Ric Flair. Wasn't Ric Flair like 61 minutes, or was that Rey Mysterio? Or
I think Mysterio that was.
Yeah, that's right, because Mysterio beat that, and then Shawn Michaels had one. I thought, you know, they're all in there pretty close, but there was so many botches, guys. I mean, you can make a top 10 botches of this show, which is crazy, and you know, and the Tombstone thing, if you count that as a botch, is like lower, like it's like number 9 or 10 or 8, but number 1 is like, geez, number 1 would have. I don't know what number 1 would have been. But guys, make sure you guys sub down below to the channel. Don't miss out on all the other stuff we do here. And sub to my Real Wrestling channel, my other channel, youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. And tonight we'll be live at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. And shout out to everybody across the world who is watching today from the UK, Australia. If you're in Saudi Arabia, what's up to Saudi Arabia? You guys did a pretty damn good job. What's up to Africa? And South America, Canada, everybody. We know everybody's listening all over the place. If you can, call the number 339-226-6610. I'll open up the phone lines.
ShiBUM!
Let's check out these donations.
Jericho looked like he overate at the Country Kitchen buffet.
So Tommy's boyfriend, thank you for the donation. Great observation. I said this to Lee. I said, get ready. Jericho's going to look fat. And the reason why is if you pay attention to his Instagram, this guy drinks beer like a maniac. Okay? Jericho is drinking beer every day. He is on tour with Fozzy. He has just been partying and drinking all day, just going crazy. And it showed when he came out there. This is the chubbiest he's ever been. And I know it's the beer, man. He's drinking beer every night and coffee every morning.
Beer will do it to you.
Ballsy,
and
thank
God
you
knows
for this.
What else? You know, I'm sure there's mixed drinks, all the soda and stuff like that. And he used to have a very, you know, strong diet, but like you said, he's on tour, so.
Oh yeah, and plus he's gobbling. He's gobbling. He was probably gobbling camel piss.
ShiBUM!
Did you see my big chairs in the front row? My OPEC friends and I were making plenty of business deals. I won bet with the Roman guy losing. He done now?
Thank you to the Saudi prince. I guess not. I guess he's on to Samoa Joe, Saudi prince, and thank you, Saudi prince, for giving the WWE $200 million and just having talk for all the pyro we missed all the last year. They made up for it tonight by launching fireworks for everybody's entrance. Oh, yeah,
everybody.
My God.
It was like Cena got pyro. That never happens.
Don't forget Cena,
dude.
dude.
I'll take my dick out right now. I'm Sean.
I think Rusev got pyro.
You want to see my dick? Do you want to see my dick? I will show you my penis. I'm Seanzviews. Don't screw with me, or else I'll show you my pee-pee. Do you want to see my dick? Do you want to see my dick?
What was up with the guys with the matching Sand People clothes? I really don't understand. Why Romans didn't win, because now we still don't have a champ.
No, Brock's the champ. I get the joke, though, if you're saying that he's never there. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm tired. The Universal belt is, like, almost dead to me at this point.
It's pretty much non-existent at this point.
What a waste.
If this was a legit sport, I know people could contest that. Oh, well, Roman's feet hit first, Brock's, back hit, and your feet are supposed to touch the floor. They might bring that up on a Raw to see them face each other down the road, but
yeah,
where does Roman go from here? Where does Brock go from here? That's something we'll have to break down at a later point.
Well, then they can really cover up for Roman. But 561's on the phone.
Yep.
What's up, 561?
Hello, guys.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
This is mom and son team.
Oh, how are you guys doing? It's Michael, right?
Michael, yes.
How are you?
Yeah. We are fine. We are on our way to see Ring of Honor on West Palm Beach. They are performing tonight.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're on our way there. Yep.
Yeah,
also
that's
on the way listening to you guys.
That's awesome.
I had fun. Michael was in school, but I put his PlayStation to watch the review for the Arabia.
Oh, that's cool. So you got to watch the network on the PlayStation?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he teach me how to use it.
Nice. Yeah, that's gonna be cool because I think the young bucks are there tonight. Cody Rhodes and.
Yes.
Oh yeah, my buddy, my friend Flip Gordon might be there too, so you can wave to Flip.
Oh, we look forward for him to see him.
He does all kinds of flip things all over the place.
We every time I take him to the wrestling match, I always try to sneak VIP so he could get a picture or say hi to them to the wrestlers.
Oh, right. Yeah, let me. Yeah, I
That's
will.
awesome.
I'll have to message them. I don't know if I can get a hold of anybody, but I'll try to message them for you.
And Joe, I'm sorry. You know what happened to me too when I saw this guy Titus running down?
Oh yeah.
I said, this guy's gonna fall down.
See, you said it too?
Yeah, I said it too.
So
I was like, Michael, he's gonna fall down, and then boom, he falls down.
It must have been his like his weird strides and like he was lurchy. It must have been his body language that gave it away because it was.
Yes. That's what I told Michael. I saw his body like he was gonna fall down, and boom, he tripped. And he looked like he was gonna slide down the water slide, like boom.
Oh my God! I wish he went completely under the ring. He almost did. I was really worried he was gonna get hurt. Well, hey, Ab.
You know what he saved him? He put the hands forward. So whatever he was gonna hit, his hands stopped it.
Right, but he did. He put his hands forward. All right, well, hey, we'll let you go. You guys have fun at Ring of Honor. Michael, thank you. Have a good time. And thank you as well. We love when you hear from you guys. All right.
Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Thank you. You guys are his favorite show. That's what he says.
Oh, thank
that's
you.
great.
Thanks,
Thank you.
man. Yeah, I thought he said that. All right, thank you, Michael. You guys have a good day. We love you, man. We love you. Thank you.
We love you too, guys. Bye.
Have fun tonight.
Bye-bye. I love those guys. Michael, have fun, man.
Give me a good show.
The Dick Chicken.
What do Loki, Gamora, Vision, Bucky, Falcon, Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Drax, Star-Lord, Spider-Man, Doctor
God, here
Strange,
comes a spoiler.
Groot, Manus, Nick Fury have in common? They all dead.
The Dick Chicken. Thank you for the $10. Yeah, everybody's gonna die.
Everybody's dead. That's the way you do it.
Just kill everybody. Remember Star Wars when Star Wars was out, And that guy
Oh,
goes,
my God.
the guy donated and he said, what did he say? He said, Luke returns at the end, but dies. And Han Solo dies. And then he said that something like Rey is Luke's daughter or something. Like, and I don't know, he like did a whole thing and like flipped out and donated it all. And I went to the theater like,
Gotcha.
what else? What else we got?
I didn't
Anything
know.
else?
I thought you took another call. I thought I heard a beep.
Oh,
but-
no, I got rid of the calls. Yeah. Would anybody
Oh, okay.
else? Anybody else say anything?
No.
Oh, I mean, anything else that you hadn't gone over that we had talked about?
No, I'm happy that Braun, was able to get some type of recognition. You figure him winning the belt with Nicholas at WrestleMania certainly wasn't the WrestleMania moment he deserved. As far as the other matches, I don't know if there's anything we really didn't. The tag team titles. We knew it was. I stuck with the bar just as a pick, but because I figured maybe they want to pull them back to SmackDown, but obviously they're going to go ahead and start adding to the Woken family, as we talked about, and out of nowhere. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but if you noticed, Bo Dallas didn't come out to the Miz's music tonight. He came back out on his own, so.
Yeah,
the Bludgeon Brothers.
Axel came out first, his old music, and I started laughing.
Yeah, they're
know why.
back
It
to
was-
their original music. They're not using the Miz's.
Braun Strowman found guilty of the murder of Shane McMahon. Nicholas is mad because he carried the team. Dolph wannabe HBK so bad. Vince said to Saudi Prince, "Sure fuck bitches get oil money, 6/10."
Serious oh shit, thank you very much. 6 out of 10. Not bad. I would say that's a pretty
It's a pretty fair score.
It's a pretty decent
I'm trying to remember.
score.
I think I gave Mania 4. I'd probably give tonight a 6. Like I said, the Rumble wasn't great. It was maybe even like a 5-5 probably. Because I did like the card. It was predictable, and that's the thing. People can say, "Oh, yeah," but it was predictable, but it's so non-consequential to everything else. I was upset like, "Oh, they're building to this properly." But
Someone told Titus they hid chicken and watermelon under
oh
the
my
ring.
god.
that's bad. It takes what I said and amplifies by 1,000. That's bad.
That's fucked up. No, they told him I don't know what to I don't know what to say I'm not gonna say anything.
You can't fix
I'm gonna
that.
leave that one alone.
Yep.
I'm gonna stay away from that one. That's
The
crazy.
Usos match was incredibly short.
By the way,
I was really
by the
disappointed.
By the way, if you say the N-word in the chat, you're gonna get banned. Just so you know, if you say the N-word in the chat for no reason, you're just gonna it's just gonna happen. So I wouldn't do that. But what,
Yeah,
Jake?
no,
I'm sorry.
No rhyme or reason. You're just done. I said the Usos and Bludgeon Brothers match was really short.
Yeah.
I figured they would have more than enough time on this show to get everybody to have, at least 10 minutes each. I think it barely clocked in at 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't remember it happening, actually, now that you say it. I
Yeah, it was
forgot.
after the whole little
Forgot.
prayer part too. So they took a break and
That's
then they
why.
came back and the Usos they hit their usual super kick party, as they do.
Yep.
And then you got a top rope splash and they hit a double power bomb on Jimmy and get the win, and that was it. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
It feels like the Usos have really cooled down since like turning a bit face and having Naomi run out all those times, and she couldn't, be the distraction tonight. And a lot of the matches were on the shorter side. Jeff Hardy and Jinder. I mean, that's one thing you could be like, oh, thankfully.
That
but,
had to be short, yeah.
yeah, even Matt Hardy and Bray was only 8 minutes, and
Well,
you figure
quite-
for 6 hours they have all this time, or
Well,
5
quite
really.
frankly, I was thinking, I hope these matches go by pretty quickly because, they're going to lose the crowd, is what I was thinking. These people are going to be like, all right, like, what is this? We've had enough. They were really happy with stuff like Randy Orton and things like that. So, that's when it became apparent, like, oh, man, I hope they don't really... I don't know if they have the passion yet for like these matches to go any other way, unless they're just epic. So, and then the cruiserweights match, they were so quiet. So it's just like, you know what, this is a casual type crowd. Like they want that stuff. So they need to make sure that they don't have these matches go on too long. I felt so. I was very happy with those matches being quick, like almost rushed. Like have the entrance, get out there, do a quick thing, and then all right, get out of there. you know, I was fine with that just because of the audience. I felt that way myself anyway.
Yeah, I do agree. You didn't want to have them, you know, drag on forever and lose everybody. Oh, what about Mike Rome when he had the 4 like tryouts in the ring? Nasir, Hussein, Monsoon, and Faisal? Or is it... I don't know if I'm saying the last one correct, but...
That wasn't too bad. I kind of enjoyed that. It was weird because the guy, like one of the big guy looked like he was not right. Like he didn't look like he was... He looked like, I mean, they all did a pretty good job. Like they really did. They did a good job. The guy on the far right had was just wildly charismatic. Like he was the
one with the long hair.
Yeah, he was like.
Yeah, I liked him. He was really into it. And
he was able to every look he made. It was very he was very reactionary. He was almost like he's already been doing this.
I believe that's Mansoor. And yeah, because he was the one saying about how we were kids with a dream, that dreams come true, and he's going to represent their country as the first WWE wrestler from the kingdom of, and he just, he offered a good backstory and kind of, played up that role nicely. Everything else was, all right, their English wasn't so great with the first gentleman that was speaking, and then they had to speak in their own language as well. That received a lot of cheers from the crowd, obviously. And then Daivari, both of them coming out waving the Iranian flag, people saying that, Vince is going to cause World War III over here. Thankfully, everybody knew it was just a, part of the show, but no one seemed to be too upset by that. It was just a chance to have the faces beat the heels.
Yeah. Yeah, it was it was the only thing that was bad was somebody, I forget who was telling me, was it you or somebody else? Saying oh, the flagpole was already out there and everything. It was kind of goofy. I mean, that's how it always is, but it is kind of silly.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't catch that myself either at first.
Somebody on Twitter said that oh, the thing was already set up for him to stick the flag in the thing, and it was that's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's always like that, but I mean, when you go,
it's hard not to telegraph those moments.
Yeah, whatever. It was what it was. It was all right. I thought the show was okay. Based on what we saw tonight, I thought the show was all right. And we're going to get out of here, man. We got to get out of here because we got to get ready for Monetize this tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. I'd love to just kick some ass with you guys even longer and stay on here, but again, I got to go live in a few hours from now. At 11 o'clock, we got to do Monetize this. Have a party tonight. We're not going to.
Yeah.
We're not talking wrestling though, so if you're not into that, you won't want to be there. But we are going to be mature audiences only, getting kind of nasty. We'll be talking about Bill Cosby possibly going to jail to get penetrated, and all kinds of other things. We'll be saying, it puts the privates in the... All right, I'm sorry. But no, we'll talk about a whole bunch of stuff. But guys, hit me up on Twitter at Real Cronin. Thanks to Max Jones, who just became a patron. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. We got a big bonus thing coming up over the weekend for the patrons. Just a record number of you guys signing up on Patreon. 325 patrons right now, which is crazy. $5 a month gets you a whole lot of content. $2 a month gets you Corrupted and a few other things, plus all my songs and everything. Whatever you want to do, go give it a look. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, or check out the app on your phone and then look up Joe Cronin Show. And we'll be back doing wrestling on Monday, live after Raw. But I'll have, I'll be talking about some of the news that comes out in wrestling over the weekend and doing that sort of thing. So that's pretty much it. Greatest Royal Rumble, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably give it a 5.5 out of 10, I think, is where I want to settle. Jake, where are you at with this thing?
I'm going to settle at a 5, after we break it all down. And apparently, also really quick, too, before we get out of here, Sami Zayn, it was indicated backstage that he wasn't included because he's a Syrian Muslim. This was reported,
this already came out
in the week. And, we had made note of this earlier, but, everyone was saying, well, we'll have to wait and see if he appears in the match or not. And obviously he wasn't there, so that certainly seems to be the reason why.
Yeah, I never thought Sami was going to be there based on the report. That was already
unfortunately, but yeah, I'll stick with a 5. That seems about fair for this. The Rumble wasn't fantastic, but the show was enjoyable and held my interest.
I like it. Thank you guys, and we will see you tonight for Monetize This right here on the JCS Gaming channel at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So come on back and have some fun, and we'll see what happens tonight on the show. And I would love if my my outro music would play, but it's not playing. So instead, I'll just play this.
Gonna stab your daughter at the mall. Gonna
Goodbye.
stab your